Okay, I had some computer issues here. Hopefully they're cleared up. So here I multiplied, I had kilograms I wanted to make into grams, so I put the kilograms in the denominator, the grams in the numerator, filled in the numbers, 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, and multiplied across. The numbers in the numerator you multiply, the numbers in the denominator you divide. Dividing by 1 doesn't change anything. Down here, I had feet, and I wanted to make it into meters, so feet into meters, and I had to look that up on page 723 in the back of the book. 0.305 meters, and again, the number it gave me that wasn't 1 is in the numerator, so multiply those together. If there was a number in the denominator, you would divide by it. So those are those two. Hopefully you're able to get those two. This is the more advanced part of it. You could also convert a rate. Scooch that to right there. Okay, and this is where I had started, but my computer crashed, so hopefully I can explain what I did. So I started with 50 yards per second, and I want to make that into miles per hour. Okay, so what I want to do, think of this as two different operations. I'm going to make yards into miles and seconds into hours. Well, let's see here. To make yards into miles, I put yards in the denominator to cancel out the yards, and I put miles in the numerator. To go from seconds to hours, well, seconds starts here in the denominator. That's what's different. So over here, I need to put seconds in the numerator so that those will cancel out. So seconds and then hours here because that's what I want over here. Okay. Once I have this set up, my units are fine. My only unit left over in the numerator is miles, so that's good. My only unit left over in the denominator is hours, so that's good. Everything else is crossed out. Okay, sometimes they call this dimensional analysis as well, and you'll have to do this in your science classes. And if you go in there knowing how to do it, they'll say you're really smart and awesome. So, yards and miles, I have to look this up. Yards and miles, yards and miles, yards and miles. So, 1760 yards in 1 mile. 1760 yards in 1 mile. Okay, and seconds in an hour. Well, there's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, so that would be 60 times 60 is 3,600 seconds per 1 hour. Okay, now what I need to do here, if something's in the numerator, multiply it. If something's in the denominator, divide by it. So I'm going to take 50, I'm going to ignore the 1, times 3,600, divided by 1760. And I get 102.27. And I work with miles per hour all the time. So now this 50 yards a second, I realize that's pretty fast, especially if you're driving in a car. That's dangerous and you shouldn't do it. So, but before, I'm not exactly sure 50 yards per second what that means. I guess that would be halfway across the football field in 1 second, and that is pretty fast. So I guess if I would have thought about it that way, I would have realized that ahead of time. But that's pretty fast. Ooh, well, I can give you a little hint there. Yeah, there you go. So I want you to try this problem. We'll go over it in a second. So this is actually, I thought about paintball. 220 feet per second is the standard speed for how fast a paintball would go. So what is that in miles per hour? Go ahead and convert that for me. I'll get back with you in a minute.